안녕하세요. 테스트네이션 대표 에릭쌤입니다. 오늘은 또 신기하게 제 홈타운이죠. 같은 캐나다 학생이 이제 연락이 왔습니다. 굉장히 좋은 성적을 가지고 있고 특정한 탤런트가 있는 것 같은데 이 친구가 가고 싶은 학교도 굉장히 높아요. 좋은 디렉션과 방향성을 제시해 주겠습니다. 그럼 연결해 보겠습니다. 여보세요?
안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요. 전 테스트네이션 대표 에릭쌤이라고 합니다. 만나서 반갑습니다.
반갑습니다. 근데 저 한국어를 잘 못해서.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
혹시-
I can speak English. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. I do know this is like a great opportunity to ask questions and gain knowledge.
I've been consulting for 14 years. I have admitted a lot of kids, especially the schools that you wanted to get into. I think I do have one or two things to tell you today, obviously. But most importantly, my job is to not really tell you the answer, but for you to learn and truly understand what this is so that you can apply to your own life. In this case, your application. So your CGPA, do you know what CGPA is?
Unfortunately, I do not.
All right. CGPA means cumulative GPA. So that means throughout your grade 9 to 11, what's your average GPA? Do you know what it is?
96.
Do you know what percentile you're in your class?
I don't think they disclose that kind of information.
Cool. But do you have any guesses on that? Do you
I'm
think it's
pretty
safe to
positive.
say it's top 10% maybe?
Yeah, I feel like I can say that with no doubt.
Okay, with no doubt. That's good. And then your SAT needs a little work.
I agree on that.
Yeah, I just want to tell you something. A lot of these applications are very unknown. I'm talking about just like how you get into Harvard and stuff, right? They never tell you, this is the reason why we got you, right? But there are such thing as bare minimums. You will never get in because of 1600s or 4.0 because for the school that you are suggesting, the bare minimum is 1500.
Yep.
Okay, so top 10%, 96, 1500 seems pretty good. What school are you attending right now? Public school?
Yes.
Okay. I just want you to understand that everyone starts differently, meaning not because of your race or whatever that you name it. We have this thing called context. Context just means where you're from, who you are, and where are you studying, and what's the context in your school, what's the context in your neighborhood. You just have to show that within your context, you try your best. So in this case, you're attending public school, right? Which is very different than private boarding school or magnet specialized schools and stuff like that. They do definitely look at your class rigor, class ranks, or percentile, SAT obviously, rec letters for sure, but here's the kicker. The recommendation letters are a lot more emphasized on A, private boarding school, or B, public school.
I'd guess private.
Yes, why?
For some reasons, I feel like private will have a better weighing on the recommendation.
Well, the only reason is because the ratio between faculty members and the students are a lot lower than you expect.
Yeah.
So that just suggests that your recommendation letter isn't as emphasized as much as the other types of school. So how do you actually shine or to stand out in this case context of a student who graduated from public school? Not mandatory, but it's definitely good to show that what you have done outside of school and also inside of school, because that's the context that's interesting to you. So do you think you have those?
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say. I know though that you are a very competitive.
Yep.
I was just wondering if there's anything else that you have.
I've self-studied some APs.
Okay?
I've published, I think, a research paper.
You think.
That was a bad way to phrase it.
Right.
I did. When I went to for a summer program, I took the opportunity to ask professors of any research I could join or even do the little work for. And like actually one of the things I really love, which is
Right.
and I was actually able to.
That's very interesting. So what's the tangible result that you think you had?
I was told it would get published, but I couldn't find a tangible source to really prove the thing. I was told by my mentor.
All right. I love it. The fact that, maybe this solidified your commitment to. Do you think it kind of opened a lot of opportunities in terms of your academic topics, or do you think it kind of narrowed down what specific thing you want to learn in college?
It definitely narrowed it down.
Okay, cool.
Definitely. Not just the knowledge, but I feel like I got to actually experience what a potential college life or university life could be like. And I thought it was a great experience overall.
Do you think that this professor that you work with, do you think she will write you a rec letter?
If I reach that, I think she would.
But do you think that there's something that you think you really impressed her? There's something you really, like, she was impressed by?
I think I could say so, yeah. I went the extra mile, to like really reach out to her and talk to her and connections. And I believe she would remember me and have some positive things to say about me.
Okay. I mean, this one does stand out, but not to extent of your because you did say that you are at a provincial level, right?
Yep.
Do you have records that you could actually seek into recruitment, such as Division 1, 2, and 3 in these schools?
I don't think I'm...
I think there's one thing I do want to teach you something, buddy. I don't like words, I think,
Gotcha.
right? Because why are you saying I think where you can just find out these things for sure? When you say I don't think I'm good enough, what's that mean?
Based on the get entered into these divisions, I am nowhere near that level.
Okay. You're nowhere near that level. Okay. But you spend so much time in. I see why you're an assistant instructor. I guess the tutor is a different thing. I guess this is like a STEM tutor or something, like a math tutor.
Yep.
Okay. And you want to get into Harvard, MIT, CMU, Caltech, all that kind of school?
Those are the challenge ones. Yep.
Here's the big question. Why do you think Harvard will accept you?
I believe through my application and even essays, I could stand out, show like a progression maybe. I'm hoping to like continue to do more stuff in the future before applying.
Okay, so you have a 6 months window left, I guess.
Yep.
Do you have something you know you're going to be doing?
I can't say I'm certain, but I do have a direction that is currently ongoing, and I'm hoping I'll be able to grab the opportunity.
Okay. I'm usually a lot more positive and a lot more motivating and stuff, but because we're limited in time, right?
Yep.
Right. I can't just give you some pep talk and, like sugarcoat everything and just like, hey, you know what, you can do it. Rather,
Yeah.
I want to tell you some things that you really need to think about.
Please do.
Okay. The school that you mentioned, especially Harvard, MIT, Caltech, they don't accept kids because you write an amazing essays or progressive character quality essay.
Okay.
That usually never happens unless you have this unbelievable context, like going through such a struggle in life and that maybe there's something that is just impossible to even grasp. Maybe then they might give you a golden ticket or something, but I also don't believe that's true.
Okay.
What I would rather believe is my ability and what I can bring to the table. When I ask you these kind of questions, a lot of the times when your answers weren't tangible,
Yeah.
and that needs to be fixed as soon as possible. I asked you questions such as, how can you get into Harvard? And you said something that I don't even know what it is. So you're betting yourself on something that is not tangible.
Sounds rough.
I need you to really think about this. I have admitted 5 students to Harvard, and I also have a lot of kids who actually watch all my videos. I have 900 videos in my YouTube channel. I recently received 2 emails this year saying that they got into Harvard because they watch all my videos. So I know how hard it is to get into Harvard, Yale, Princeton, MIT, and Caltech, and all that kind of stuff. Most of the schools here that you mentioned are asking why you want to come to our school. They're also asking, what is your position in your community? For example, like, I'm sure you influence something in your community. That is why you're probably applying to us, right? So, what did you do in your previous community or your community that's going to make us feel like, oh, that's very interesting for us?
I see.
What is that? That is a question you cannot avoid.
I see.
What I see in your application is that you're a competitive. I think that just being a provincial level kind of also speaks about your discipline, your routine, your stamina, your mental toughness, and all that kind of stuff, right? But what's really missing in this scenario is that, but you're not that competitive enough to get into.
Yep.
Then your just becomes your evidence character, right? So it's not your academic and STEM and other evidence, which means that, again, we're going back to the same question. This is an elephant in the room. What is it that we're going to go with? So in this case, it's probably your physics and your coding,
Okay.
right? And there's one thing that I do want you to understand as a student, as someone who wants to get into these schools, such as all the schools that you mentioned are pretty much very interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinary, by definition, is not just combining or unique intersection of and physics and coding. Interdisciplinary means is that you are good at more than one thing, and we clearly see that you're better than doing one thing. I think that in this case is being good at one thing. What I'm missing to see here is I need you to show me a lot more different animal within you for you to chase some of these kind of academics, such as this summer school research group. I'm assuming that you did it last year summer, right?
Yep.
Right. Why didn't you extend this?
Extend?
Yeah, why didn't you extend this that you were doing? You said you wrote a paper. I'm sure there's a lot of questions, the cascade of questions that fell into this research.
What do you mean extend? Like, do you mean
So-
after I came back or?
Yes, after you came back, you had now this is like an year, right? 1 year.
Yep.
What is it that you did that extended this or aligned with this?
I can't say I've done much that extended from that.
Okay, then how is it that you're going to show your intellectual vitality, intellectual passion? Where is the credibility come from? Just being smart in your school is not going to get you into Harvard. How many in your school who had a perfect score got into Harvard?
I don't think there's even a number on that.
Because there is no number on that. Just because you have 4.0 does not guarantee you to get into Harvard. You have to show something that you are attractive and you are so believable in a manner that, holistically speaking, your recommendation letter speaks about your character. Your EC, your activities shows what you have done because those are the things that you care about in the last 3 years. Your GPA obviously is great, so kudos to that. SAT, you need to work on those. But you've missed a lot of opportunities. You could have done, I can think about 100 things out of this opportunity. Did you know that?
Now I do.
You know Harvard is famous in every nation. The best of the best kids want to get into this school. Do you know that?
Definitely.
Right. So you need to stand out, buddy. That's not like something we need to consider. That is a mandatory requirement. But standing out does not mean show something that is absolutely amazing. Show your life, your context, who you are, why you should be measured in such a way that you think. Show us. Don't tell me you're going to be doing that in Harvard. That does not make any sense. You don't get drafted by NBA teams because of your future potential. We look at your verticality, scoring measures. We look at everything. So if you think you deserve to get into these kind of schools, right? Ask yourself, what can I do? What is it that I'll be able to show how I'm going to convince these crazy schools that I deserve to get into this school? Do you think that was helpful?
I would even say take off the rose glasses.
Wow, I love the expression, taking off the rose glasses. Take the whole thing off. Because we're so blinded by our own strength and our own thing. Like, oh, you know what? I'm unique and I'm very special because in my school, no one is like me. That's what everyone can say.
Yeah.
We look at tangible stuff. So bring some more tangible stuff to the table.
I see.
Okay, I guess our time is kind of pushing me to say some things you may not like it, but bite the bullet. I really wish you can get into your destination.
Thank you. I mean, no hard feelings taken.
All right.
Is it okay if I just ask you just some little questions?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Last time you asked me, like, what do you have in the 6 months or something like that? Which is better, a job or a research opportunity?
Okay, which is worse? Thinking about it and just doing it.
Thinking about it.
Exactly. So here's the question. If you want a job, can you get the job? If you want to work with a professor, can you actually really work with a professor? Is that a guarantee kind of thing?
Good point.
There's nothing's guaranteed. Why are you jumping into a conclusion?
You're right. Gotta take every opportunity. I think you've clearly answered my question. Just go for everything. Okay, I just want one more.
Yeah, sure.
Out of your years of working in this field, what's a common trend or pattern you've seen in admitted students that you think is, or maybe everyone is unique and they have all different things?
If I have to point one pattern that I see from the kids who are admitted, 100% backed up by adults, meaning your teachers and your counselors and community around you. If they believe you and they love you and they respect you, and if you come into the room, the environment changed, the oxygen changed, and that's a good sign.
I see. That was not the answer I was expecting.
Of course, you will never hear anything expected because I know this in and out, and I've done it 14 years. Good enough?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
All right. See you, buddy. 친구랑 전화를 끝냈는데 너무나도 중요한 예시였던 것 같아요. 학교에서 되게 잘했고 그리고 운동도 열심히 했던 친구인데 자기가 좋아하는 것도 있었어요. 근데 아이비를 가고 싶다고 하는 친구 안에서 이 정도의 스펙과 이 정도의 레벨은 굉장히 많아요. 이 친구가 좋아하는 서브젝트가 있잖아요. 이거를 훨씬 더 오랫동안 붙잡고 있었어야 될 텐데 놓고 붙잡고 이랬던 것 같아요. 지금 보니까 레주메를. 이런 친구들이 굉장히 많은 것 같아요. 내가 뭘 좋아하는지는 알지만 그걸 오랫동안 붙잡고 있지 않는 친구들이 결국에는 입시에서는 매력적으로 보이지 않을 수도 있어요. 그러니까 나도 비슷한데 라고 하는 친구들은 마지막에 우리 했던 질문들 중에 잡을 찾는 게 좋냐 교수님 밑에서 일하는 게 좋냐, 대부분은 그냥 합니다. 뭐든 합니다. 내가 할 수 있는 걸 다 합니다. 내가 좋아하니까 계속 한 거야. 그러니까 나중에 돌아와 보니 좋은 학교가 됐어. 그러고 나면 사람들이 이런 얘기를 합니다. 아, 그게 길이었구나. 그 사람이 한 건 그냥 열심히 산 거예요. 계속 그냥 그 주제를 파헤친 거야. 그러니까 이 친구한테 하는 서제스션은 모든 사람들한테 다 어플라이가 가능한 서제스션이에요. 그러니 오늘 제 팩트콜을 들으신 분들은 stop wasting your time. 오케이? 저는 테스트네이션 대표 에릭쌤이고요. 다음 팩트콜에 뵙겠습니다. 감사합니다.